bring to the doctor and stuff because like a lot of people, they don't have health care. A lot, because yeah, they can go see the doctor and it might be free,
Right.
but now you got to deal with the medicine. And I know people right now paying over $100 for a prescription that's 30-day prescription, and they paying over $100, and they got a discount. But this is a medicine that they have to take, and
Right.
they on SSI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're struggling.
Yeah.
They can't afford it. What it is that they they're supposed to take it every um, every day, but they have to take it every 2 days, to make it last for at least 2 months.
Yeah, they stretch in their medicine. I saw a show about that. That a lot of people are actually ordering their medicine from Canada and different places like that because locally it is so expensive. And you're right, there is some glitches in there, but overall you can get vegetables pretty cheap at Walmart. You can get fruit pretty cheap at Walmart if you got a Walmart in your area. And I think that's another problem, that a lot of the poorer communities don't have um a grocery store like that, or a little mom and pop store that sells vegetables and sells healthy stuff. There's always a lot of junk food. You got sodas there. Everybody got sodas and chips. I don't care where you live. There's sodas, there's chips. But we need to, like, really, and those who can't afford it, to really need to invest in it. And then as a community, maybe start demanding some of these stores that are in our community have fresh produce, have fresh vegetables. We have a choice who we give our money to. And if we stop investing in their future and start investing in ours, that is another avenue we can go. Because, who was it not too long ago? I think we had someone on the show, and it was a celebrity that opened some mom and pop stores in New Orleans. I can't think of his name right now. Because there were a lack of fresh produce, fresh vegetables. And he just opened a couple little stores, but those little stores make a difference. So when you got all these liquor stores, say, hey, dude, why don't you think about having a fruit stand out here and get some vegetables out here? We're investing in you. Can you invest in us? I mean, we also have to speak up.
That's true. You're right about that because if you take notice, especially in the black communities in California, you lived in California, Miss J,
Mm-hmm.
and like in a lot of in our communities or our neighborhoods, let's say our neighborhoods, well, we have these little mom and pop stores where we can go and buy bread and things like that, but there's never no vegetables up there. It's always beer, alcohol, cigarettes, candy, potato chip. They have bread in there, and sometimes the bread be old. There's never no vegetables. And like you say, Ms. J, we got to start speaking up.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to ask both of you and Tommy a question since Tommy gonna be on air with us. So I want to ask both of you guys a question. Explain to the audience, is health, heart defect, is that hereditary, or is that just from bad eating? Or explain to the audience what it really is. Well, Mr. Davis, I'm gonna ask you to go first.
Oh, okay, no problem. I did my research. Well, what I found out when I was doing my research about the babies, because I was going to mostly talk about kids because his son infected. A lot of times it's something that's in the mom that, like if the mother has high blood pressure. This is what the research say. Now I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. um, or they're having some type of ailment while pregnant. A lot of times it affects the babies. You figure 1 out of 100 baby, one out of 100 babies are born with congenital heart failure. It does that defect, excuse me. So you think about that. So that's a lot of babies when you add it up. And the African American community, that's 40,000. So you think if we're not eating correctly as moms, I think some of this is generically passed down, according to the research that I got. Now, as we get older, we cause it on ourselves by our behavior, our eating behavior, about the things that we don't walk, we don't exercise, and we're so busy living that I said we're so busy existing that we're not living. Like, we're not living in the fact that we're not being proactive in taking care of our bodies for later on. We're only living for that moment. And I think a lot of times in our community, we are just in that moment. We don't think about when I get 50 or when I get 60 or when I get 70. We just trying to get past 30 or 20s or whatever. And the things that we do when we're young, it comes back to haunt you when you're older. So if you got bad eating habits when you're 20 and you continue to have bad eating, by the time you're 50, you're not eating the same. You can't eat meat anymore, or your body doesn't process food the same. That's why I really like, I'm doing the vegan, I'm like vegan vegetarian, I guess I'm sort of like, but I like that because there was a time where I can't eat red meat. My body just refused to have red meat. And I wasn't even a big red meat eater. But when I got on my own, I was eating the way I wanted to eat. At home, you eat what your mama cooked. But when I got out there, I was trying to be grown. I want to eat what I want to eat. And then it wind up later on into the fact to where the red meat just would not process. So I just stopped eating red meat. And that was in my 30s. I wasn't even, of age, of a mature age. So I'm just saying that some of the things that we do, we think we grown, we can do this and we can do that. But we have to remember that we're gonna get older, and we're the things that we do to our body when we're young determines the kind of body we're gonna have when we're older.
Yeah, you're right, Miss J, because boy, look here. When I was young, 17, 18, well, not 18, I was from 18 years old till 25. Well, I was in the Marine Corps, and the Vietnam War was going on, so I didn't get a chance to really do too much, but but when I was a teenager before 18, well, man, talk about to put down some gumbo, Tommy. Man, I used to put down some gumbo, man, and boudin and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hog crackers. And I can still put some down, but when I go home, because I don't eat that much of it. But you know one thing? I'd be in bad shape if I was staying in. As much as I like to eat that good high seasoning food, I'd be in bad shape, man, if I was back home. Yeah. We have a lot of seasoned food. But look, at also too now, and I agree with you totally, Jay. A lot of it is genetic. But now, and let's say we have our parents, they're healthy, and but we come along, we start growing up, and then we start eating some of these uh, particular foods that are not healthy for us. And a lot of times we inherit that stuff like that because our parents are definitely healthy. So yeah, I think some of it is genetics, but some of it we cause ourselves by the food.
Absolutely.
Also too, yeah, also too now, and I'm just going biblically. Okay, the seed is in man, right? Okay, and let's say the man is the gardener, and the woman she's the ground where what the seed goes into. Okay, so now a lot of times when it's genetic, it can definitely come from the father because the father transfers the seed, or seed comes from the father. But now it can be true that the father can be healthy and plant the seed into his wife or so, and but she may not be as healthy, so it can have its effects there too. So it's so much stuff in there, and I'm like hey, I'm not a physician. There's something they're pretty obvious when you do certain studies.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is because heart disease is the number one killer in all for all Americans. So heart disease kills more than cancer. So yeah. So we really, when we think about our hearts, if your heart don't pump, don't nothing else work on your body.
That's right.
So
That's right.
so in my perspective, I'm just saying, just be considerate of not so much what you do or do not have. We know a lot of people don't have a lot of money, and I'm cool with that. But what I'm saying is that you still got to be conscious of what you do to your body. Your body's your temple. And if you're not honoring your tempo, you can't expect it to work for you. It's just like a car. If you got a bad engine, your car ain't moving. So if our bodies is our temple, and it's like that, it's our automobile. So whatever we put in it and whatever we don't put in it All that affects us if we don't put enough of the right stuff or we put enough or too much of the wrong stuff. So I'm just saying, like, we just be conscious of it. Like I said, eating vegetables. I know being a vegan like food is not for everybody, but start adding more fruits and vegetables to your plate. I my pops and my grandmother, they're kind of elderly, and so what I always add a vegetable, of course, but I always add fruit to whatever I'm giving them. They always get an extra piece of fruit. And off the subject a little bit, but my grandmother just got out the hospital, but they were telling me she was so healthy, and I started laughing. I'm like, really? But it's funny because they'll say you give them so much, but they gotta have fruit. When you get 96 and 97 and you can still do all the things you did, most of the things you done when you were 30 or 40, at least you can get around, you can think clearly, you can walk, you can function. That's because you prepared your body for your future. They did that way before me. So yeah, so when you think about that, we have to prepare our bodies. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use that. Prepare your body for your future.
Yes.
That is great. I love it. That's right, man.
We only get one. We can't trade it in when it gets. We can't get no new. Can't take it back. No returns. So.
Yeah. No. We have these cars. We change those engines out. So when we change the heart, it's artificial. A lot of other stuff has to come with it. When if your heart gets that bad. So yeah, we have to take care of ourselves. And boy, I tell you, man, and it can be costly. Definitely costly when we don't take care of ourselves.
It'll cost you more later than it will in the process of trying to take care of yourself. Because, like John said, medicine costs a lot, hospital costs a lot. So, if you are preparing your body for your future, then those are type of bills. Like I think I'm not bragging, but my grandmother's only on one medication. One medication. She's 96 years old. And everybody can't believe it. Well, what I'm saying is but she prepared her body. She didn't pollute it. And she wasn't rich. She was born in Arkansas, so she didn't have a lot of money. So what I'm saying is that you can do this. I don't want people to get caught up on the cost and the money. I want you to get caught up on you're worth it. There is no your body and your life is priceless. So you do what you can do in your budget.
Yeah, because that's the way I was thinking. But if you really look at it, you shouldn't even much look at the cost, because, like you say, the streets is free to walk on. You don't have to go to a gym, or either join the gym for you to walk around it. You can walk around the block.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people, out there, walking.
I see them all the time.
Early in the morning. Yeah, you see them, they be walking. Matter of fact, the guy that lived next door, he's Russian. He lived next door from my house, and he worked during the week, but on Saturday mornings when he off, he out there, he walking.
Yeah.
He take off and night shit. He be gone for at least about an hour. He go walk and then he come on back. I should go with him.
Yeah. You know what? It keeps the stress level down. It keeps, not only is it good for your heart, but it keeps your stress level down. A lot of times we are so busy living, trying to survive, and we're all of us are walking around with high. I saw a show that how many Americans are walking around with high blood pressure and don't even know it. Because we're always stressed, we're always tense, we're always in a hurry. We haven't really mastered patience. We haven't really mastered it is what it is. We'll talk that talk, but in real life, we have not mastered that. Everything is instant. If we are without our cell phone, it's the end of the world. If our computer down, oh, we are so distressed, and we are so we just going crazy. These are things we didn't even have 20, 30 years ago, and life was still going on. But now that people are so accustomed to having all these instant things, we don't know how to just be. And that's going to kill us if we don't learn how to just be.
Jay, you talking about cell phones? I know a lady right now. If you take away her cell phone.
Yeah.
she will not depart from that cell phone.
Absolutely. So we just got to get our priorities straight, and especially as a community, we've always not really taken especially I know because my dad's an old black man too. Black men don't believe in going to the doctor. Uh, for some reason, I know some old school junk. Um, and so we, as mothers, I know me, and I know a lot of my girlfriends, when we were raising our kids, we would take our kids to the doctor, but wouldn't even take ourselves. And so we got to invest. That's what I mean by investing ourselves. We take care of everybody else. And this is for the ladies. We take care of everybody else. We have to learn to take care of us too. Because by the time a lot of the ladies figure out something wrong with them, they're up in age. And because they just keep moving and they keep moving. And then the gentlemen, they don't want to, and the men, they don't want to go get the prostate checks. They don't want to go, do the things that they need to do. I'm a man. I'm all right. I'll take a couple of aspirins. I'll keep it moving. Like really, like you got to invest in yourself too. You just being a provider is not enough. You could provide, but you're going to miss out on the big events if you're not there because you're not taking care of your heart. You're not taking care of your body. So that's what I mean by, we really have to invest. Find a free clinic. Lots of free clinics. May not be the top of the line. You may not be in Beverly Hills, but if you got something wrong, go check it out. If you don't feel good, go check it out because that's your responsibility for yourself. Because, parents, I'm just, because I know a lot of parents, they take care of themselves. Caregivers are the same way. I'll take care of everybody else and don't take care of me. I'm talking to everybody who take care of everybody else who don't take care of them. You have to make yourself a priority and be selfish for a moment. It's not the end of the world making sure you're healthy.
You couldn't have said it no better, Miss J. No better. I mean, make yourself a priority. Because I know, for example, me. Sometimes I don't make myself a priority. I put everybody in front. Boy, that's pretty awesome stuff. You do too, huh? But what I do? I think most men do that. They will take care of somebody else rather than take care of themselves. Yeah, you're right. And also, too, I like to say this too, because you hit it on the head. Key word is master. We have to master these things. We got to be master builders. We have to be more concerned, like I say, about our health. And so when we study, when we start mastering these things, knowing that I need certain health to keep my body healthy, and we need to do these things. And it's all about mastering how we eat, mastering how we balance our fun, mastering how we work with our children and teach our children about these eating habits. All these things, and we kind of like that. Myself, I'm gonna say myself. But this is what I'm working on is being a master at these things. And I'm not talking about to beat nobody else. I'm talking about my person.
No, and you know what? Yeah, we do. And practice make perfect. You're gonna have some times where you're just not gonna be. You're gonna get off track. Okay, get back on track. You're just human. I think if we give not be so hard on ourselves. And you brought up a great point about our kids. Our kids usually do what they see us do more than what we tell them to do. So, we gotta live by example. Throw some fruit in there. If they eventually they gonna eat that fruit. If they trade off at school, somebody else gonna eat, whatever. Eventually, when they know, okay, they're gonna put this fruit here every day on this lunch, or give me a snack. I might as well go on and eat this fruit. And that's one of the things I do, like on the Afro Man Kids Space Facebook page. I give a healthy recipe snack for the parents every week, because a lot of people say, well, I can't find nothing good. So I take my time to research and find great recipes for the kids. And they're easy. The kids could do them with you, or you can do them and set them up for the whole week. And that's so that they have a good snack. If you're in, but while you're cooking or you just get to the door, because it's important to teach it. We can't talk about it. We're not going to be about it.
You're right, Miss J. And I think that this subject here is so important about heart defects and the proper things to eat and the proper things to serve your children if you raise it. When while you raising children, it's because I'm a single parent. My son, I raised my son. Okay, since I think he was about 12 years old, and he came lived with me. Yeah, I did a good job of taking him, keeping him out of trouble. I think, I did a decent job because while he was growing up, he never went to jail. He never got in trouble. And I always did keep a leech on him. If he was out there at 12 o'clock and I know that he's supposed to be home, well, I'm going to look for him.
That's
I'm
right.
making him get in that car and I take him home. But I did a very, very poor job in the food choice.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yes.
You understand? I'm
Yes.
talking about making him eat healthy, with apples and oranges and lettuce and tomatoes and stuff. I didn't really do a good job with that. I mainly cook, meat and rice, maybe some string beans.
Yeah, you were stretching
with
the
no
meals. That's
banana.
life.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I see that now is because we having this subject.
Yeah.
And what he grew up to be a big guy, with fat. He was big. He grew up to be a fat guy.
Yeah.
Now he's losing weight because he's doing it on his own now.
Right. He's getting control of his own life. Yeah.
But and I'm thinking as we talk, and I say, wow, if I only knew, I would have made sure I would have fed him right.
Or fed him differently, because you didn't do anything wrong. You did what you knew to do. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. What you did was what you knew to do. And that's why I like our show, because we put stuff out there, even though, we put stuff out there to make people think, you can change it. You did what you knew to do at that time. So I don't think it's nothing. I don't believe it's wrong. That's why I'm just letting you and the audience know it's not wrong. You do what you know how to do. But when you know better, you do better. And that's what your son did. He grew up and learned, wow, I need to do better. And he's a grown man, so now he's doing better. I don't want anybody to knock themselves about anything they did before, because we only do what we know how to do.
That's true. You're right, Jay. We do better. I just, as I'm thinking, you understand, I just sometimes, as a single parent, well, then, like I'd be saying, well, wow, I wish I would have known.
Right.
Things would have been so much better for him if I would have just known, or not just the eating habits, but on other things too.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I would have known, but like you say, Miss J, I didn't know. I'm not gonna beat myself up. But now he's grown on the eating thing, and he's out there, man. He's going to the gym, and he's losing that weight. Yeah. He's looking good.
Yeah, he's claiming his own victory. And so and again, like you brought up, as he grew up, he grew into his man. He decided what kind of man he wanted to be. So so this is not like, I want to be clear, we're not like bashing nobody about what they feed their babies, because you do what you got to do with what you got. But just try to install some ideas that, well, make sure you try to get a piece of fruit at school today, baby, or whatever the case may be. They on free lunch program. Make sure you get that milk. Milk is important. Don't bypass that milk. just whatever your situation is, try to make it work for the betterment of your health. Because like I said, heart disease is like number one killer. And we think about, like you said, we talk about cancer, we talk about black on black crime, white on black crime, murders. We talk about other things that are killing us, but we don't talk about so much our bodies and how important they are for us to maintain, because we are literally killing ourselves. So we can't, and not being, over dramatic, but in a way we are, because we're not conscious. If we refuse to be conscious about what we put in our bodies or how we take care of our bodies, then we're making a conscious self choice to allow ourselves to die faster. So I'm just saying that we just got to be more conscious that we're worth it. If we're worth to pay $200 for a weave, you can go pay $200 for some vegetables. You can, you buying Beyonce tickets, and not, no disrespect, I love B, but concert tickets, and you're doing all these things. We make money, we find money to do everything else, to buy tennis shoes, to buy music. We got to find money to take care of ourselves. We find that money when we want to find it. Let's find it for ourselves.
That's right. And we find the money, Miss J, when it's almost too late.
Mm-hmm.
Or man, you're talking, man. You're talking the truth, man. Now you got to spend up all your little savings or all the money you're coming in just to try and survive now. And right. We don't need to get to that point or anything like that. But I know one thing, because you guys said a lot, and just listening to you all, hey, we're still here. We can make that change, and we can encourage other folks to make those changes too. Because man, they're simple. I mean, it's not much. Like Ms. J said, it doesn't cost that much. So we just have to be ready to make those changes. Sometimes we've done this for so long. We make it seem like it's hard to change. But you have to do it a little bit at a time, little bit at a time. You may do this today, but tomorrow you may not do it as much. And that's how we want to start working. Just start working little by little until we get those things down.
Mm-hmm. And if you live in a house, I was gonna say one more thing real quick. If you live in a house, you guys get your own garden. You could spend $3.24 at anywhere and get some, or to go to a store and get some seeds. I save so much money by having a garden. I know, and it's therapeutic. I'm just saying, go back to old school. Grow your own stuff if you can't buy it. Grow it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yes, you grow it. Man, but one thing about growing, I have a yard, Miss J, and I have a lot of shade. And boy, man, I planted a garden with my daddy. He was a farmer. And so I had him, he came, he didn't help me, but he showed me how to do it because my father was old. But he showed me how to till my ground and all that. I did that. Then I planted tomatoes, watermelons, okra, and I had some other stuff, but I had so much shade. Well, I grew one watermelon, that was it, and then a coon ate it. But the only thing I really did get to grow in my backyard because of all the shade was my okra. Man, them okras, man, they grew 8 feet tall. I was getting okra every day. But I couldn't get anything else. Like I had tomatoes, they didn't grow because they need sunlight. I need lots of sunlight.
Yeah, but it's all kind of ways to do it. I'm just saying, if you can't afford to buy it, try to grow it. My first garden, I grew a lot of little stuff, but this time, this second year, it's getting down. So I'm just saying, sometimes we just gotta grow it. Go back old school. Get a community together. Find an old parking lot. I'm seeing that a lot out here. They're finding old parking lots or something that's not being used, and they're creating gardens, community gardens. Let's go back to being a community. Let's get a community garden going. Everybody get to eat.
But we only got 3 minutes left on the show.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask Ms. J to close this out.
Well, I'm sorry that Mr. Shelby didn't join us, but I hope everything is well. But I am so glad we still had this conversation because it's important. And I want all of us to be around for a long time. So thank you for joining us. And thank you, Mr. Tommy. We appreciate it. And John L. Brown, back to you.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm so sorry that you guys miss Mr. Robert Shelby. everyone know. Well, me and Miss J know that he does have a son that has a heart defect, and I'm just hoping that everything is well with him, and maybe we can get him on the show later on.
Yeah, things happen.
But something must have happened, for him not to call in. Okay, because he's been trying to get on this show. So I'm just hoping that everything is all right with him. And thank you, Tommy, for joining us, and thank everybody for calling in. Uh, and that's basically what I have to say. And back to you, Miss J.
Well, I hope everybody learned a little bit of something, and I hope it was still a great time for you. It was a great time for me. I like to talk about subjects. We have to do this more often when we just pick a subject and talk about it, because that's knowledge. And the more we learn about what we need to do, like you said, you didn't know. Once you learn, you can do better. So, I'm really glad we had this conversation. So thank you guys for joining us. Hope it was a blessing for you. It was a blessing for us. And good night.